back everyone to my channel. This is the third part of the fourth episode of the series called Behind Papers, where we try to analyze together how research works and how the academia world works. As I said, this is the third episode, and in the previous couple of parts we discussed about the similarities and the differences about qualitative and quantitative research, and we went deeper into the core similarities, like how both strategies can share the same characteristics despite on a different degree. So how they actually can be combined together in a so-called mixed method research strategy. So mixed method research strategy, as the name says, it means that both strategies can be used together. The video is going to complement what we already said in the second video about mixed method research, and we are going to explore how we can actually combine the two strategies. As I always say in the videos, watch the videos before if you want to follow a logical sequence of these videos. Otherwise, just watch the video that interests you the most. So with that being said, if you're interested in what I'm going to say in this video, please keep watching the video after the intro. So welcome back everyone, my name is Annette and I'm here to help people to develop an independent interpretation of reality and trying to understand together how spirituality is integrated in our everyday life. So as I said in the intro, we are going to explore how the qualitative and quantitative research strategies can be combined into a mixed method research strategy. And we start by saying that when we want to combine these strategies, we have two criteria that we need to consider. The first one being priority and the second one being sequence. So what does it mean? When it comes to priority, we have to decide to which strategy we want to give more importance. So are we relying mostly on a qualitative research strategy or a quantitative research strategy on which we are going to have a main focus? When it comes to sequence, it means which one we are going to use first. So if we are going to give more importance to qualitative research strategy, it doesn't mean that it has to be used first. We can give also equal importance to the two strategies, but the sequence is about whether we are going to use first qualitative or quantitative research strategy. So of course, based on to which we give more importance and on which sequence we want to use, we can have a different combination of these two criteria and obtain different mixed method designs. These are four mainly, and each of these designs can be subdivided in more specific designs that we are not going to discuss here because it can be a bit complicated. Most of the time they are very similar, they are just like small differences, and it's not always that clear to me as well. But I'm going to make an example so you can understand what I'm trying to say, especially because when it comes to these subcategories, we can say there's like a huge list. So what really matters to me is to understand these four main designs, make an example, and then if you're interested, I can give you the references or you can search by yourself which specific designs you can use. First design is convergent parallel design. So it means that you're giving the same importance to both qualitative and quantitative strategies. So they both have the priority, right? So you're going to give the same weight to each of them. So it's not that you're going to use more qualitative methods or more quantitative methods, but you're going to give the same importance. The second one is called exploratory sequential design, which is going to be a bit similar to the third one we're going to discuss. In this case, with an exploratory sequential design, you are going to, of course, decide whether you want to start with quantitative or qualitative research. So there has to be a priority in that sense. And let's say we start with qualitative research, then the role of qualitative research is to, let's say, explore the topic a bit first and trying to have a first understanding of what we are studying. And from there, we are going to use quantitative research to build up on what was found previously. So we are going to get maybe a bit more specific with the quantitative research methods. So the strategy that you use first opens up the research for the other strategy. So they build on each other, and then once you have your results, once you have your information, you write up your findings. The third design is the explanatory sequential design. So again, as we said before, sequential means that we have to decide to which strategy we give the priority. But differently from the exploratory, where the strategy we use first has to open up the research for the second strategy. In explanatory sequential design, the first strategy you use is going to do the research. You're going to explore the topic using that strategy, and then the second strategy, the one that comes after, is going to explain what you already found. So they don't really build on each other, but in this design we use the strategies to see whether we can actually confirm or not what was found previously. So the second strategy we use needs to explain what was found before instead of finding further information. And from there, with this process, we finally write up our findings. Third design is called embedded design, and in this type of design, you are going to give a priority to a strategy. So whether you give more importance to the qualitative or quantitative research strategy, you are going to conduct both research at the same time in order to then bring together the results and have a more complete picture of what you are studying. Of course, then you have your information and you write up your findings. So you might ask, so of course, each of these design has its own pros and cons, and they are sometimes very similar. So I can imagine that you might ask, like, well, what is like the difference between the explanatory sequential design and the embedded design? So as I said, first of all, in the explanatory, you first conduct a research with a strategy, and then you are going to explain what you found first with the second strategy. Whereas with embedded design, you're going to conduct them at the same time. And for example, we can say that when it comes to the explanatory design, we can maybe be more influenced because we already have findings and we have to use another strategy to either confirm or reject previous findings or just add more information. But you already had completed that research, so then you might be a bit influenced from what you found before when you want to explain what you found with the second strategy. Whereas when you do an embedded design research, then you are conducting the research at the same time. Of course, in the end, you're going to compare the results and they kind of explain each other. By conducting the research at the same time, you might be less influenced from what you found previously. Very small details. And I think when we talk about this theoretically, it's a bit hard to understand. But I think it gets easier when you actually conduct a research. So as I said previously, these designs can be further divided into specific designs. So I'm going to make an example of an explanatory sequential design. So as we said before, in this type of design, we are going to use the strategies to explore the topic first, and then with the second strategy, we are going to complement what we found. And one example of this design is the instrumental development design. What does it mean? It means that in this case, we are going to use qualitative research to explore the environment, to explore people, to explore the topic. And from there, we can actually find keywords and key elements. And from there, we can create a questionnaire. It's going to be more specific than what we could have done before if we didn't conduct the qualitative research, because we might have used wrong words, wrong terms, or we maybe didn't think about specific things to ask. While if we're going to use the qualitative research first, we have a general understanding, and from there we can implement the qualitative research. So the qualitative research is not going to explain what we found in the qualitative research, but is going to make treasure of what we found in qualitative research to create a more specific questionnaire or interview questions or whatever. So let's say the final words on mixed method research. So, as I said before, this strategy is not approved by all the researchers, because there are researchers who think that qualitative research has its own characteristics and can only study certain topics in a certain way, and the same goes for quantitative research. And we have researchers who actually enjoy combining the two methods because they see the importance of doing that, and they see reality as not being that defined to the point that you can only study reality in a certain way. That being said, it doesn't mean that we can use mixed method research to study everything. There has to be a reason why mixed method research is better than using only one type of strategy. So it's not the solution to study every phenomenon. Of course, as I said, it depends. And despite, of course, it can give more information, again, it can't be used everywhere. At the same time, when we conduct a mixed method research, we have to follow the same rules as when we conduct qualitative or quantitative research, as we explained in the previous videos. It means that we need to choose appropriate methods, appropriate designs, appropriate samples, and an appropriate research question. We need to be transparent on what we do. We need to be aware of the errors. We need to be aware of how objective we are or not. So it can be more fun, it can give more insights. So with this video, we conclude the fourth episode where we went through the similarities, the differences between quantitative and qualitative research, and then we went through more detailed examples of how qualitative and quantitative research are actually more similar than what we think. And from there, we started to discuss about mixed method research and the type of designs that we can use, and which are the criteria in order to establish a specific type of design, and how we can actually, and how we need to use this type of strategy. So with that being said, I hope you are enjoying these videos and you're looking forward for the next ones. We're getting closer to the spicy part where we are going to talk about academia and kind of like the big issues that are inside academia, the publishing process, where there is or not corruption or issues in that sense. But yeah, as I said, it was important to first understand these points. Having at least few tools to interpret reality in research and stuff, it's important. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and again I ask you to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so that you won't miss any other video. You can find me on Instagram as well, and yeah, anytime you want to comment or contact me, it's fine. I'm happy to share opinions with you and to talk with you. And yeah, with that being said, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!